The Golden State Warriors have found themselves in a very, very interesting situation. They've clearly been trying to execute the two-timeline plan, and I'd say they are off to a great start. They won a championship last year, and if nothing else, Jordan Poole looks like he's going to be a star. But as far as the rest of the young Warriors, them finding themselves amongst these veteran players has not gotten off to the best start. James Wiseman, his rookie year, without necessarily earning it, was given the starting spot. Makes sense, number 2 overall pick. You want to see him play, obviously. And this season, James Wiseman has been given the backup center spot. He's getting guaranteed rotation minutes every single night. You cannot say the same thing for Jonathan Kuminga or for Moses Moody. And to a certain extent, that makes a ton of sense. The Warriors have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole all getting a ton of minutes. They also have Donte DiVincenzo before the injury, so it makes sense why it's hard to get Moses Moody some minutes. They also have Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, and now James Wiseman all getting significant minutes at the forward and center spot. That it makes sense why it's tough to get Jonathan Kuminga consistent rotation minutes. But I fear the Golden State Warriors are going to end up alienating and possibly losing Jonathan Kuminga, who I think has the highest ceiling of these 3 players, and I also think the highest ceiling for them this year. The Golden State Warriors have historically won with a multitude of two-way wings: Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant. Sean Livingston, 6'7" point guard, essentially was a wing playing next to Steph Curry. That has always been the Warriors' way. And the Warriors have a two-way wing with extreme potential, and they're not necessarily using him right now. And we've heard rumors of Jonathan Kuminga not being a hard worker or attitude problems or whatever. You kind of always have to take those with a grain of salt. I'm never going to doubt the work ethic of a kid who left his home country to pursue playing NBA basketball. I'm not comfortable questioning that kid's work ethic. Maybe you guys are, I'm not. And the reason I bring it up, because that is the only thing that would make sense to me as to why he's not getting legitimate rotation minutes. Since the pre-draft coverage, there's always been this notion that Jonathan Kuminga is a selfish player, that he's gonna be maybe on a bad team he would put up numbers, that he's a chucker. And to me, that has never really been Jonathan Kuminga. If you watch him, when he's put in those situations, he struggles. When he's put in situations where he needs to create or he's a focal point of an offense, he struggles. That's not necessarily his game yet. But when you put him with the starters, when you put him with Steph Curry and Draymond Green, he cuts hard, he moves the ball, he shoots the occasional corner threes, and he's actually not terrible at it, and he provides them a lob threat. He's becoming an amazing point of attack defender, which this team severely needs right now. There's really no explanation for him not getting minutes other than the fact that they are trying to get James Wiseman as much minutes as possible. Now, we are 4 games into the season. I'm recording this right before the Warriors Heat game. And if I had to guess, I'd say he's probably going to get a few more minutes in this game. One, because Donte DiVincenzo's out again. And this is the team that Miami Heat plays small. Really, other than Bam, they play pretty small. And historically, Jonathan Kuminga has done a decent job on Jimmy Butler, so he's probably going to get PT in this game, and maybe this video will look dumb after the fact, or smart, depending on how you look at it. Yeah, the Warriors are in an interesting spot, especially when you consider they can't really play Jonathan Kuminga and James Wiseman together just yet, especially when you consider the defensive awareness problems for both of them, also the spacing problems. I understand all of that, and I'm not saying you got to choose between Jonathan Kuminga and James Wiseman. That would be unfair to both of them, but the current situation going on is clearly unfair to Jonathan Kuminga. He's being played out of position when he actually does play, and he doesn't really get to play with the starting unit, which he's actually shown to be pretty effective with those guys. Like I said, Jonathan Kuminga still has a lot of work to do, especially off ball on defense, understanding the communication, second language, by the way. So, another thing people want to question is work ethic. But the funny thing is, Jonathan Kuminga is the exact player the Warriors have been trying to get for the last 10 years. And he's here, and they're not necessarily utilizing it. He moves the ball, he plays defense, he attacks the rim, he shoots corner threes, he's switchable, he gets to the free throw line at will. There's just has to be something going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing. They have a ton of players that need to get minutes, but pairing Jonathan Kuminga with Steph Curry and Draymond Green as much as possible would be something I'm focused on if I'm a part of the Warriors organization. Those fake dribble handoffs Draymond Green does with Steph Curry? Imagine Jonathan Kuminga doing that and then getting to the rim off one dribble from the 3-point line. How many times have we seen Steph Curry, Draymond Green pick and roll? Andre Iguodala flies in from the corner, gets a lob from Draymond Green. Imagine Jonathan Kuminga in that Iguodala role. He just seems like exactly the player they need, and I'm so confused by it. I'm not in any way trying to say I know more than Steve Kerr. Maybe there's politics involved that, James Wiseman, number 2 overall pick, they have a decision to make on his 4th-year option, what they're going to pay him. Maybe that's what it is. And I understand it's 4 games into the season, but if you're Jonathan Kuminga, how could you not be frustrated? How could you not be frustrated watching Jalen Green, your former teammate, go out and just take as many shots as he wants? How could you not be frustrated watching Scotty Barnes just go out there, get to play point guard, get to handle the ball? And you have to, not only do you have to sit on the bench when you do get in the game, you have to focus on getting James Wiseman touches. So the Warriors have a lot to figure out, and I'm going to leave it here, and I might wait till after the game to post this because who knows, he might go off for 20 points or something. Might have a game-saving possession on Jimmy Butler. So we'll revisit this after the game, and then I'll probably drop this video. All right, so you know how I said the Miami Heat play small, so maybe this will be a good opportunity for Jonathan Kuminga to get more minutes. DNP did not play. I'm not sure what else to say at this point. They were absolutely focused on getting James Wiseman the ball. I understand that. He probably would have had a monster game if his teammates could actually throw an entry pass this game. But same defensive struggles. In this game, Moses Moody gets 17 minutes, fair. Jordan Poole, so it's not just a Kuminga thing, but it's definitely Kuminga who's getting it the worst. Jordan Poole only played 21 minutes in this game. They just gave this man $140 million, only played 21 minutes and did not close the game. JaMychal Green gets 18 minutes and Ty Jerome gets 8 minutes. I understand there's no Dante out there. You probably feel like you need another backup guard. There's just no reason Ty Jerome needs those 8 minutes more than Kuminga does for this team. There's no reason. You have Jordan Poole, you have Draymond Green, you have Steph Curry. Just run your offense. It's going to work out, I promise you. JaMychal Green, I understand he's a very good vet. He brings a little bit more spacing as a shooter. He offensive rebounds. He's a vet. He does vet things, and I'm sure Steve Kerr likes that. But you have Draymond Green, you have Kevon Looney, you have James Wiseman, you have Andrew Wiggins, who's been playing some 4. Get Jonathan Kuminga out there. I don't get it. There has to be something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. And if that's the case, I'll shut up. I have no idea. I'm not privy to that information. But obviously Steve Kerr is seeing something in practice or something with his attitude, something that he's not playing Jonathan Kuminga. But I think the Warriors are playing a very, very dangerous game because they might risk losing a super, super talented wing that actually would help this team a lot going forward in the future. A wing player that can switch 1 through 4, that can pass the ball, moves the ball when he's playing with Steph and Draymond Green, that is an elite slasher, getting to the rim, cutting back door, elite at getting to the free throw line. All of these things, you don't just mess around with a talent like that. And I'm afraid the Warriors are doing that, but obviously they know better than we do. So we'll sit back and see what happens. But Jonathan Kuminga should be playing more. That's all I'm saying.